Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry for the we're late, but it's the first panel of the day, and it is what it is. And also, it's very early for me, so you should be happy I'm here at all. To be honest.
Personally, I'm delighted you're here. Because I was very nearly late myself, and I have the most optimal time slot at 3 p.m. for me.
So first off, welcome to our second iteration of the International Lolita's Roundtable panel. It's where we get a bunch of different Lolitas from all over the world, and we talk about the similarities and differences in like what we experience in where we live. Last time I participated as in like, hi, I'm a Lolita from America, and no one needs to hear that again, so we're just gonna ask everyone else what is their life like. Before we get started with any of the questions relating to this panel, just as a reminder, we are raising funds through our charity event for the National Math and Science Initiative, which benefits people in underserved communities to get STEM education. So if you want to check out the charity raffle, sorry, it's not a raffle. Legally speaking, it's not a raffle. It is a drawing. You don't have to donate money. You can go to the Very OK website and you can enter to win some prizes donated by our vendors. And with that out of the way, let's talk to our panelists. Does everyone want to introduce themselves?
I'll go first. Sorry.
Okay.
I love throwing myself under the bus. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm 34 years old. I've been a Lolita for about 14 years. 13 years if you count being good. I live in Ireland, and I'm delighted to join us today.
Oh, okay. So maybe I'll go next. Okay. Hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm from Singapore. I go by her pronouns she, her, or they, them, whichever you're more comfortable with. And what am I supposed to? Oh yeah, so I'm a Malaysian Lolita, but I'm currently living in Singapore. So I've migrated to Singapore, and I do go back to Malaysia to visit my friends and for events as well.
Yeah. So we'll be hearing about your experiences in both places.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I go next. Hi, I'm Iris, and pronoun she, her. And first of all, it's a great honor to be here to present Korean Lolitas. And I'm from South Korea and live in LA now, but I'm visiting Korea right now. So I'm Korean in Korea. So, I've been wearing Lolitas about 10 years, and I love classic style, and I love to try new style like gothic and sweet. So yeah, that's it.
Hi everyone. Well, my real name is Jareni, but I never use it online, so I go by Inerai. My pronouns are she, her. I'm from Mexico. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm so happy to be here. Also, very scared, very nervous.
There's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, I'm scared too.
And I've been wearing the fashion for 10 years, and putting my little lemon Mexican twist on it.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I've also worn I've been in the fashion for about 10 years. I forgot to mention that earlier. And I also I wear like a myriad of styles, so but now mainly I wear gothic and classic and old school as well. Yeah. But you'll see some of the previous styles later on.
Just don't be scared.
I'm sorry that I'm sorry that I forgot to mention my pronouns are she, her, or they, them, and I primarily wear sort of gothic or monochrome suite, but I mishmash everything together and rarely very clear.
It's really funny because I feel like I have accidentally collected a bunch of Lolitas who have been in the fashion for like a good number of years, and that never has been intentional. But I'm like, wow, like we've just all been doing this a really long time. I guess I should probably do introduction as well. My name is Opsik Sui. I use she, her pronouns. I am primarily like Gothic classic Lolita, and I've been wearing Lolita for about 9 years. Yes, and in the chat, you can see we are all elderly. We got some NRA fans in this house. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Together we are very aged. If we stack each other on top of each other, but also we would be very tall.
Finally, I never
We're
got
like
to
a
be
totem
tall.
We're all EG elderly.
So let's go on to the first question. What is it like being a Lolita in your country that you have lived in? Is there a unique response to how people perceive you, and are there any cultural ties or context to what do they associate with the fashion that is unique to specifically where you live? Would anyone like to go?
Shall I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in Ireland, in the past maybe 15 years, maybe 20 years, you see more people dressing alternatively. There's a small Lolita community. It was only 5 people when I first started, but we've since gone to about somewhere between 50 and 70. The thing that we get most often, aside from the Alice in Wonderland and are you in a play questions, we get compared to competitive Irish dancers a lot of the time. Yeah, here's the image I've provided. We get so many people coming up and they're like, so are you going to like an Irish dancing competition? And in fairness, some of the outfits can be quite pretty, and ringlet hairstyles are like really commonplace in competitive dancing. Also, the shoes that I'm wearing in the photo on the screen, they look a little bit like gillies, but mine are high heels, so you wouldn't be dancing in them. But a lot of the time as well, like people will come up to us at meetups and be like, "Oh, so are you an Irish dancing troupe?" And there's like a goth and classic, and then you've got someone wearing sugary sweet, and we're like, "What kind of mismatched dance troupe?"
I think you should all learn dancing just to really flex on them.
We did actually go over to an event in Scotland. We went to the Ghostly Gala in October 2019, and part of it was that everyone got up and we were doing like group set dancing. So you're sort of like taken through the steps, and then like there was live music playing faster and faster. And I'm gonna tell you, if you wanna experience pain, try dancing like three set dances in a row wearing a full cohort. You're just sort of like I'm gonna die. But that's one of the things as well that I really like about living in Ireland is that we have the UK right next to us, so the Scotland and the England comms get on quite well with us, and we sort of visit each other for events. So yeah, but the Irish dancing one is one of the most common, and I think very particular to Ireland, misconceptions that people make about us, and it's always very funny to just be sort of like there in your rocking horse shoes going, I won't be dancing.
Anyone else want to share what like particularly you get compared to or anything like that?
I don't think we have something so particular like that in Mexico. I mean, usually the main thing is, are you going to do a play? You know, like that's like the main one. Are you going to a play? Are you part of an exhibition? Maybe one that we get often here in, especially in my city in Monterrey, is they ask if we're part of Las Muñequitas. Las Muñequitas, it's the dolls, and it's a show, a very old show of these women who are dressed as dolls, and it's like a TV show for kids, and they also
Oh.
and also they make that show for kids parties. So they go dressed as dolls in kids' parties. And yes,
Oh.
the
Oh,
the dresses do resemble a little the kind of Lolita aesthetic because they're dolls, But
Yeah.
I think that that's the one that maybe can be mentioned often, but it's so old, the TV show, that barely anyone remembers it.
So you just have like old
I
people
love that
coming up to
one.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the old lady's like, "Oh, are you a muñequita?" And we're like, "No."
Yeah, most
That's
common
such a
reaction
lovely
in
word, like
Korea
last
to like,
minute.
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I love that, like the sound of that word,
Ah.
las muñequita,
Muñequita,
la
muñequita.
muñequitas?
muñequita,
La
And actually,
muñequita.
muñequita.
they do call us like that. They say like, "You're muñequita," because even the little dolls, that's the literal name of doll in Spanish,
Oh,
muñequita. So
Little
you look
doll,
Oh,
like a
yeah, yeah,
that's
muñequita.
cute. That's
You look
really
like a
cute.
oh,
doll.
that's so
So,
cute.
so they call us
yeah.
that
That's
often,
really
like
cute.
muñequita.
La
Yeah, that sounds
muñequita.
cute.
Oh,
It does,
Yeah,
especially
you're also
when it's an old lady calling us like that. It's like, oh, cute, but we're not.
Yeah.
We're not.
it's actually the same over in Singapore. Like the older ladies will be like, "Ah, you're so pretty." I was like, "Are you the doll today?" And I'm like, not sure how to answer you, but okay, thank you.
In Korea, our most common reaction is, "Oh, are you in some kind of play, or are you doing cosplay?" Or yeah, that's the most common reactions.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
I think that that's the distinguished thing. Like old people call us muñequitas, like dolls, and young people call us princess. Like kids, they call us
mm,
princess.
Oh.
That's the
yeah.
difference. Like princess.
Inurai, you've also shared some other images of pictures that are like relating to your culture in your country, but also related to Lolita. Do you want me to share that?
Oh yeah. Well, I think I put there something about the Catrinas
These
because I
guys,
think that yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, that one.
Oh.
So I think that
Ah.
one is a very specific aesthetic of that we use often Lolitas here in Mexico because it's well this is a long story, okay? And I always fight a lot about this topic, so bear with me, please. So this makeup, Katrina makeup, it's inspired by a drawing made by a man named Posadas, Jose Guadalupe Posadas. He made a drawing, and he used to make these drawings mocking the um, the the government, and also mocking the people, like the people who try to be like the rich people. Okay, so it was a
mm,
mockery about um poor people who try to apparent to be rich and try to be like the French rich people. So
mm,
that's how
Oh.
it came to be the Catrina, or the Calavera Garbancera. That was the original name, and it was literally a lady who tried to be like fancy and stuff. So that's the real Catrina. That's where it came from.
yeah,
And then people started to relate that to Dia de Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, which is a celebration that is now known worldwide.
mm-hmm.
mm,
And in Dia de Muertos, we actually, what the Day of the Dead celebration is we just go to the cemetery, and then we clean the tombs, and we bring food, and then we hang out there with our deceased ones.
yeah,
And that's pretty much the celebration. That's what it is. And then we make an altar, which is a big thing. You can see something like that in the back of the one in the middle with the black dress in the upper
yeah,
side.
This one.
Those yellow things, those are the cempasúchil, which is a flower that we use specifically for that day.
Mhm.
So we make
yeah,
like a shrine on that day to celebrate our people, and we put things that are meaningful, and there's a whole thing out there. Okay, but so
yeah.
we have now a mixture a mixture of ideas for that celebration because it's also close to Halloween. So
Mm.
it's on November the 2nd, and Halloween it's on October 31st. So we
Mm.
Mexicans love parties and love to celebrate. So we kind of pushing everything together now, and we
Mm.
celebrate like from the end of October to the beginning of November. We
Yeah.
kind of celebrate with parties and stuff like that, and we use this makeup often. But this is new. Like I've seen this makeup coming around in the last maybe 15 years. Before that,
Mm.
it wasn't really that used before. And to be honest, this makeup and this celebration actually got famous because of the movie from James
Coco,
Bond.
right?
Yeah, I was
Spectre.
gonna
No, no,
say.
no. Before that, it
Jeez.
was the James Bond movie Spectre. So they in
Oh
that
yes.
movie they put like we had this huge like a carnival thing, with
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the how do you call 'em? The calaveras, like the
The
bone things
skeleton.
yeah, the skeletons with the skeletons.
Yeah.
That didn't exist. That was a lie. They just invented that for the movie.
Oh, like.
But it was but
Oh.
it was so cool. It was so cool and everyone loved it that much that they started doing it after that.
And now
Mm.
Home Depot sells what is it? How many
Yeah.
foot tall skeleton? Everyone go buy one.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
20
And now
foot tall non skeleton.
yeah,
I
so
love him.
we Mexican like I said, we Mexicans love parties. Anything is an excuse for us. So we took that as well and said, "Oh, so James Wood did that. You know what? It's cool. Let's take it." And
Yeah.
You appropriate the appropriators.
of course,
Yeah,
let's do
yeah.
that.
So Hollywood started big skeleton.
Yeah. And then also Coco did all this explanation about that part of celebration, and it's so beautiful.
Ah
It's a
yes.
beautiful movie and I think it's really good and so respectful of the way that they portray the story and how we celebrate, and also that helped to make this makeup and everything famous. So
Mhm.
we in Lolitas we use that often, and I think that's really particular from what we do during October, November here as Lolitas in Mexico. So I put some of my friends there.
Mhm.
And I want to point out my friend, she's the one on the purple dress,
Oh, down here,
Mm.
yes.
Moemi. Yeah, that one.
Hmm.
So that dress is made with one of the fabrics that we use a lot here in Mexico. It's called cambaya, that kind of fabric. And she designed that dress, and she sent it to a friend in Mexico City, so all the other across the country, and she made
Mm.
the dress. And you can see she has on her
The head.
hair,
Hmm.
on the head, she has
Yeah.
these buns, the concha buns, that are very famous also here in Mexico.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was a very, very Mexican detail. I love her. That's such a cute thing, and it's so so particular. So yeah, you
Mm.
can see there the makeup, the styling, and
Hmm.
that's a very very Mexican take on Lolita.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on, like, I feel like I've seen other Lolitas and other people who like are not Mexican and don't necessarily celebrate it, wear this makeup, especially like for Halloween. Is that something you have any like thoughts on in particular?
I actually defend a lot of people that they do that because I see a lot of people like started picking on that, saying like if you're not part of the culture, you cannot do this.
Hmm.
I feel deeply offended about that because I think first of all we should celebrate everything in the world. Like if it's
Mm.
not hurting anyone, why? I take no offense as a Mexican to that because like I
Hmm.
said,
Mm.
it originally there was no relation to anything religious. So to me,
Hmm.
the origin has nothing to do with with something religious. So, you know, be my guest, do it. And also
Yeah.
and also another thing, and this is my personal opinion. This is just me.
Hmm.
I'm wearing a fashion that's from Japan that is inspired on dresses from France and
Yep,
from
I totally
England.
agree. We're kind of culture appropriating it too.
You
Yes.
know, like, and I'm Mexican, so I'm wearing a Japanese fashion that was inspired in France and in England. You know what I mean? Like, it's all a mixture. And as
Yeah.
long as you're doing it respectfully and
Yeah.
with love, like what's wrong with that? Just
Mhm.
love,
Yeah,
love
definitely
it.
with respect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
What I
so
It's
love
agree.
about that too is I love the way like you have a holiday centered around death, and like that's something that happens to everybody. So it's like when I see people like celebrating Halloween and calling it
Mhm.
Samhain all over, like in different places. Okay, they try call it Samhain. It's spelled horribly for people who don't have an understanding of the Irish language. I've seen it called Samhain and Samhain and
Yeah,
all sorts of
people.
things. Yeah, like people who are trying to connect with the roots of the holiday that meant to celebrate death and just sort of make that an easier thing to sort of incorporate into your consciousness in day-to-day life. I'm like, well, it might be specifically from one culture, but it's about a universal aspect, and I think that's pretty
Mhm.
cool. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and Halloween has its roots
Yep.
also in like Celtic culture, right? So
Yeah. It's sort of more or less the Celts used to have it was like a two or 3 day holiday, kind of like Halloween to. Oh, hello, I'm Sam Hain. Oh God, yes.
Oh God.
I think what was it, the movie Halloween 2, Michael Myers and all that.
Mhm.
The detective Loomis is like, they worshipped a god called Sam Hain, and I'm like, who who has a god with a first name and a last name? Like, does his mother call him that when he's in trouble? Sam
No,
Hain, what have
no,
you?
no. She calls him Samuel. Samuel Hain.
Samuel Hain. And it's like, oh yeah, that's a truly like old Irish name, Samuel Hain. But it's just, yeah, like as Josephine was commenting there, it's picked up and kind of bounced around. You see people really trying, and like a lot of the time that can be met with some annoyance, because I don't know how many times I've heard like podcasters that I love talk about Halloween, and they're like, it comes from the Celtic holiday of Samhain, and I'm like, oh, but God bless them. Like if the love is there, I'm like, do you know what? It is genuinely hard to get, but yeah, it's like one of these things where if somebody wants to really understand, like something as universal as a death-based holiday, I'm just like, that's brilliant, because again, as Inere was saying, like we take bits from other cultures and it's all done with like just real love and intense interest. So it's a very relatable thing to do. I'm going to
yeah,
call a lot of things relatable in the course of this conversation. I'm just going to be like, yeah, I do that all the time.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just so it's like a lot of people, like you always see that conversation come up in Lolita like chat. It's like, is it cultural appropriation or is it cultural
yeah,
appreciation? And it
Right.
really does. You can kind of see when somebody's coming to it with enthusiasm and love that you're like, you know what, that's appreciation and that's okay to me.
yes. And we need to
I
talk
think it's
about
always
that.
safe to like ask like people who are like of that culture whether it's okay,
Mhm.
because I think like it's also something like consent, right? Like if you ask and if they say that they are okay with it, like then technically it should be, it's like what Indra say, like because some cultures are meant to be celebrated, and not it's not like it's not offensive at all to them. So like if it's like from an outsider point of view, they might not know so much about like our culture. So it's always best to ask, like, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
actually asked,
100%.
for example, I remember asking Iris about the handbooks because
The
she's
handbook.
selling
Mm.
handbooks. And I told you like I
Ah,
love
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love handbooks. I want to wear a handbook because I think they're gorgeous. And I don't dare to
Yeah.
buy one because I don't want to be criticized about the appropriation thing. And I do want to
Yeah.
celebrate your culture and I love it. I'm learning so much about Korean culture right now. Thank you, BTS. We love you.
Yeah. Thank you, BTS. They did everything.
I mean, I've been a K-popper for years, but BTS came to like maximize the love for Korea.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh.
but but yeah, I
Yeah.
do want to wear a handbook, and I asked you
Yeah.
about it. I asked you like,
Yeah, I
what's your
was
take?
actually talk about that next. Yeah, we I
Mm.
actually got a lot of question about the hanbok. Is that wearing hanbok is kind of offensive? No, please do not. We do love to see non-Koreans, especially like Western and especially non-Asian. So yeah, please, we love to see wearing your hanbok, and we have a kind of that moment in its Korean meme, and do you know moment, and we love to like ask, hey, do you know kimchi? Hey, do you know BTS? Hey, do you know something? You know that kind of meme and that kind of moment. So please, please wear the album. We love to see it wearing it.
Yeah. I think any culture that is not the US, I mean, I love US and I love lots of things of culture. And I think that because of the big impact that US has on media and everywhere, we know everything about you. We know everything about you. We know everything about your celebrations and everything that you do. We know 4th of July, we know everything. But
Yep.
every time that someone from other place knows something about us, knows something about Korea, knows something about Mexico, and they
Yeah.
appreciate it, we take it like like a big thing because there's barely anything about us out there.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at Samuel Hayne. I'm sorry. No, that was a very good point you just made. My head is just I'm gonna take one more sip of the energy drink that I've brought today, and then I'm sticking to water.
Someone actually commented like my personal god has a royal title, okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couple more pictures that Mirai has to share if you guys want to check those out. Hold on, let's just scroll through
Oh my
these
god.
more beautiful
Oh my god.
photos.
Whoa,
Oh,
that's so
that's me.
pretty.
Yeah.
That's mainly me because it was hard to find pictures. I really wanted to find more pictures about other people. So this is me portraying the Mexican culture on Lolita.
Mm.
Um, and some of them are inspired in the Masawan dolls or Lele dolls. That those are the ones that have the thing on the head. I don't know how to call it, but they have like ribbons on the head. That's their
Hmm.
main distinguished thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm.
a- and then I did some OG mariachi,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
and I did
Very
a
cute.
mariachi Lolita. And the one on the right side, on the upper side, it's an Adelita, which is the the main character for the women during the revolution, the Mexican Revolution. So,
Mm-hmm.
so they used to wear these things. What I'm wearing, the black thing on the front, is actually a soldadera, which is the things where they had the bullets
Oh yeah,
because
yeah, right here.
because they were
Oh.
fighters too. So they took the bullets with them, and they were fighters too. So that's the Adelita.
Hmm.
Wow.
And then the one on the bottom right side, it's La Malinche. It's inspired yes, that one. That's inspired on the dress from Veracruz,
Yeah.
because that's where she was from, the Malinche, which is a character from Mexican history from when the Spanish people came. She was the translator for the Spanish. And I
Hmm.
love languages, so I felt
Mm.
identified. And I want to talk about the one in the middle,
Hmm.
the one with the Guadalupe Virgin. She's my friend. She's
Oh
Wawa.
yes, yes, here.
Yes,
Mm.
she's a,
Oh,
a friend
oops.
a friend of mine
There, that
from my
one.
city. Yeah, that one.
Hmm.
That's the she made that dress. She's the designer, creator, and everything for the brand
Ooh.
Hmm.
Wawaism.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
Mm.
and basically it's all the dresses that she makes for herself, and then she sells them when
yeah.
when
That's
she
how a
has
lot of
her.
indie designers get started. They're like,
That's right.
I should make clothes for me.
Yeah.
That's right. I love that design. That's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful idea. So that virgin, the Guadalupe Virgin,
Mm.
is the main virgin from Mexico. Like 95% of Mexicans are Catholics, and that's their main um idol. I don't know how to call it. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like the main virgin
Hmm.
from Mexico. So that's why her like everything she did on that court is inspired on the Virgin. And
Yeah, like with the
so
halo.
yeah, the
Mm.
halo and everything. She did such a beautiful job, and it's such a beautiful dress, and I don't know, I love it. It's so inspiring. Yeah. So this is very
It's really
Mexican.
beautiful.
And we have another page.
Oh yeah. So that's my friends. That one on the upper side where there's the three of us walking. Actually, that's my friend Moemi, Wawa, and me, and
Mhm.
we're on that. We did that actually for Day of the Dead, and we're actually on a cemetery here in Mexico. And then the other one, that's the skull that you see behind is made with recycled things, and they do that again on the Day of the
These
Dead
guys.
celebration. Yeah.
Recycled skull.
Yes.
No, no, it's from pieces that are
Yeah.
like not.
I mean,
I
it's very
guess
hard to. You have to completely clean them before you can recycle them, and
I
that just
guess
takes
all
forever.
skulls are recycled, really.
Yeah. And that's another friend. She's she's actually from other city, but she's living here in Monterrey. And then there's these other friends from Mexico City. You can see I love that thing that she did with the dress. So what you see on the right side on the dress, the girl with the purple braids. So on the gather of the dress, she has this um it's called papel picado in Spanish, which is like it's paper, and you can see it on the on
Mine's
the on the picture in the middle. Me with the blue
Oh yeah.
shirt. That's the papel picado. So that's the
ah
paper with designs
Mhm.
that we use on celebrations. And she did that, but on fabric, and she put it on the dress. So it's I don't know. It's those details,
Mhm.
of Mexican flavor that are just so specific of us. So that's why I put it there.
When will Julianne and Justine ever? I mean, they've used what's the word, tassels, and like they had that dress that looked like kind of like theater curtains with the circus print skirt underneath, and
Yeah.
it's like Julianne and
mm-hmm.
Justine, pick up a pel picado. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to show that too. I'm sorry. I just love those little details, and I'm like, so
Yeah. And
Mexican.
something that's
Oh,
like
don't be sorry. I mean, this is really educational for us all,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
who are not acquainted with Mexican culture. Like, I'm really enjoying what you're listening, so I'm like listening intently.
yeah,
yeah, and something
yeah.
that's been especially notable, I think, like for me personally, because I've been helping like run these events since last year, is I noticed like, oh, like all of you are clearly like kind of from the same community. You're entering like these fashion walk cohorts that are all like really really inspired by your culture, and I don't think I would have like learned about this. And part of the reason why I asked you to join this panel is because I was like, wow, like you're really really like enjoying Lolita, but also like working a lot of like your like local environment into what you're doing, and I think that's so cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think, and I want to say this, I really do appreciate all the efforts that Bay Area K and everyone who has been doing these
Yes.
online events. It's so amazing. I've seen so many beautiful things from other people from all around the world that I never get to see. And it's a chance
Yeah.
for us to show how we love Lolita and how we do it in our style here in our country. So thank you so much. We really
Oh.
Yeah,
appreciate it. We really love
yeah,
No,
you.
really, thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
I same like in a way. Like actually, like for me, like attending Bay Area K, like I started watching Bay Area K like videos first. Then I was like, oh my gosh, there's an online convention. This is the closest thing I could get to going to the
Yes.
U.S.
Yeah,
convention.
exactly.
yeah,
Because plane tickets from my country is really expensive just to go to the US. Yeah, so I didn't have the chance. I mean, that's before COVID happened. So yeah, this is the closest thing. So thank you so much for hosting
Yes.
this.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed
Yes,
being able to like the fact that we're even able to have a panel like this with like everyone in like different countries. It's like, oh, like we can do it online.
I
Yeah.
hope you keep,
it's
like I said
fantastic.
before, I hope you keep doing this, even when borders are up and everything is good.
I
I
agree.
hope at least annually. I hope this
Yeah.
still goes on. 'Cause
I think we do
Yeah.
have plans to like, once things open back up, we found that like, things are still like if you put something online, it may be more accessible for some people, and it's also easier to like,
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
like
yeah.
have things.
The reach is so much more online.
Yeah.
And like I've been in lockdown and everything. I've really been struggling to reconnect with my ability to go outdoors. Like
Yeah.
my like I've just been kind of nervous about it, even if I'm wearing like a jumper and jeans. I'm like, I don't want to go outside because people look at me. But like now I can participate in. It really reminds me how much I love connecting with people in this community, even if the side of my own front door kind of gives me a bit of a jolt. Doing this feels so much easier. Like it's the comfort of my own home and it's my friend. So it's a really good. It's kind of like weaning me back into social interaction after a year and a half of quarantine, which I frankly need.
Yeah.
I know I said I was going to stop with the stupid fizzy drink, but it's so nice.
Yeah. And yes, my community is like always ready, and we're actually encouraging each other. Like my community from Lolitas Monterrey, we're actually always telling each other, "Oh, Bay Area has another event, so this is the topic. Come on,
Yeah,
search for something." And we're like helping each other, like, "Oh, can you please lend me this dress that you use because I think it will fit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, take it." And we're helping each other to create our cords for the theme of the
yeah,
event, and it's wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is nice to be able to like dress up together.
Yes.
So Moss Badger had a question here for you, asking if there's any significance to like the long braids with the color at the end.
Oh, no, it's not really a cultural reference.
It's just fashion.
No, to be
You
honest,
mean
I yeah, I found those braids. Those are the jumbo braids with caniculon hair that you can find that they use to braid them on the hair of people to make actual like cornrows and stuff. So I found those braids, and I just found that they were easy to go look, because when I don't want to do a lot of things, I just put my hair back and then I just put the braids on, and that's it. Like I don't have to style anything. It was
Like
just
the old
really,
school ringlet ball.
yeah, it's just
Mm.
an easy style, and I found it that it matches really good my aesthetic when I do Mexican take. I try to match it with the colors and everything, but no,
Yeah.
yeah, it was more commodity than really cultural significance.
I was going to say like daily, like cause sometimes I would braid out my hair, and because it's so long, like I have like my
Oh my
dyed hairs which I don't want to cut
Yeah.
it. So sometimes I would like braid it and I tie it and then I curl this part. It's unintentional. I didn't really even know it was part of Mexican culture thing. So I was like, yeah.
You look beautiful. Keep on doing it. Don't worry. No, there's nothing. I
Oh.
mean, it is the braids are part of the Mexican aesthetic, like in the pictures and
Oh
everything. When
yeah.
you see
Because in the
indigenous
previous
women,
one,
the two
you
braids
also
on
had
the
like
side,
braids here.
yes, yes, the two braids on the sides, it is part of like the cultural image of the indigenous women here in Mexico. It is. But I don't do it only because of that. I do it because it also matches the color of but it's a
Yeah.
combination of both things, so but yeah.
That's a fantastic. Like you see that a lot in kind of like the overall spirit of Japanese fashion that's spread around the world. It's like you can take something even within subcultures. Like you can have something as rigid as Lolita with all the sort of like the boxes you have to check for something to count as a proper coordinate, and then you can take something that you just sort of found and you'd be like, this is cool. Smash. It's a
Yeah.
good way to kind of expand and like keep things go. I'm very kind of e.g. elderly, I suppose is the greatest term I've ever heard. But I'm very stuck in something like the traditional what is and what isn't. I like not having to think too hard about outfits when I'm putting them together. But
Me
I
too.
just love seeing people who I love seeing people who take sort of risks like that because like it's not something I do. And honestly, even though I don't copy it, it's kind of inspiring because you're just like, yeah, there are people out there who genuinely experiment, and it's just
Yeah. It's
while
it's
keeping within like the brackets of what Lolita is supposed to be, I suppose.
Mhm.
It looks really great. It looks really refreshing, and I love like how colorful some of it's like the Mexican photos that have been put up in this stream. They're both really dark and really colorful at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's a vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do, fellow kids? It's a vibe.
Oh, thank you. It's the fashion.
Weird.
You should have fun with it. That's what it is
Yeah.
for. Is for you to enjoy and experiment.
Yeah, and that's how it's done too, because like they're all recognizably Lolita. It's not like, hey, here's my. I'm trying to think of something that's not too controversial to say. That I don't know. My. You know what? I'm not even going to venture into that because I'm so set in my ways. I'd probably say something that like a good 30% of the entire Lolita community would be like, no, that's perfectly fine to include in your coordinates.
It's okay. When I was like doing a panel, I think with Emma one time, and she was like, "I hate tea parties." Like the shoe, which is like a lot of people wear those. Offended all the sweet Lolitas.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm trying to think of something absolutely inappropriate. It's like, I don't know, fetish pony head.
Oh, Emma is here.
I don't know. But I know there's
are the
people who have
worst.
incorporated all these wild things, and I'm just sort of like, you know what? There's a way to incorporate absolutely everything, it turns out.
Yeah.
Like I'm 100% into like subcultures need a certain amount of gatekeeping, or else they'll be absolutely just dissipated into the ether, and they'll lose what makes them them. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? There's a huge amount of experimentation that will comfortably fit into even a very rigid style. So I don't know, nuance, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so I accidentally scrolled into Jen's slide. I'm sorry for I don't know giving this away, but here's a picture of Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, because this was like the intro, and I was like going to say like this unique about my country. Yeah, we just make memes. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, like, yeah, most of the time, like, when we are out for, like, meeting up with friends, I mean, we always just do silly stuff like this. I mean, these are, like, quite funny memories that I just plucked out and I thought it was funny to include it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that
so I
skirt.
guess, like, I mean, a lot of the things that we've kind of, like, already mentioned earlier, like, so there's always questions, like, when we're in Lolita, they were really, like, is there an event going on? Like every single time we are out, someone will come up to us and say, is there an event going on? Like they want to know where we are heading to, or like what we are dressed for. Like it's just so funny. Like the one so the picture on the left I was taken at Gardens by the Bay. And so Gardens by the Bay, it's an enclosed flower dome. And it's air conditioned. That's why I can wear Lolita. If not, I will be. Oh yeah, there's also one thing you need to know about Malaysia and Singapore, that it's really hot and humid. It's really hot and humid outside. Like, I do not know how I was able to wear wigs back then, but I think after this I won't be able to wear wigs anymore. I do not know how. But that one
got a lot of
in
hair
Gardens by
to
the
put
Bay.
under a wig.
Yeah, I still have to braid it up and wear the wig and bake in it. Yeah. So the one like on the left, it's like in the at the flower dome, it's like an enclosed dome. So inside, it's like very cold. It's air conditioned. It's perfect for wearing Lolita. And there's a lot of like floral displays that they change like from time to time for seasons. So there was once like this one, they had like the sakura. So they actually had actual sakura trees that they placed all along the whole setup, which is so beautiful. Like I wanted to include more photos, but like I couldn't show all of them here. Yeah. And like events, they'll think like, well, just like the one on the right is like a cafe, where one of my friends organized like a ball jointed doll meet. So I kind of like twinned with my ball jointed doll girl. Yeah. So they are asking like, oh, is there an event going on? Like, are you attending? I think the next slide will be like, yeah, are you cosplaying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hey, Sailor
especially
Moon.
when you're in
Yeah, I feel like
are you
everyone
Sailor
gets
Moon?
cosplay.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But it's
Oh, I
very
love this
funny because
bag.
like the
Look at this cat.
oh, thank you. Yeah, that bag actually matches this dress. Like it's a set. I got this. This is from a Taobao brand. Oh shoot. I forgot the name. I'm so sorry.
That's so
But
cute.
yeah, they
Where is
made
that?
this.
Where were those pictures taken on?
Okay, so these pictures were taken in a shopping mall. Like they
Oh.
had like this setup where I think it's by Hershey's. So Hershey's was promoting like this sweet wonderland thing, and it was just a setup. Like it's free to enter, so anyone can go and enter. Like they were like, of course it's like an enclosed area, so you kind of just have to line up and then queue up to enter the space. Yeah.
Oh,
So, but
Mindy says
very
it's
funny.
Moonlight Forest.
Oh, thank you, Mindy. Yes, it's a Moonlight Forest. I got it. Yeah,
Mindy
it's a
knows
set.
things.
Thank you, Mindy. Sorry, I have not worn sweet in so long, so like the names don't come out anymore. Like I'm sorry, I've been a multi whore. Everything is just moment.
I never know the names of anything, girl. So don't worry. I just wear it. That's it. I just put it on. Does it fit? Does it fit my XL
Yeah, does it
size?
fit?
It's good.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So like yeah, I mean aside from are you cosplaying, the next one I got was like, are you working as an event as a staff? Like, can I take a photo
Wow.
with you? Are you a
Oh.
mascot?
Yeah.
And I
That's how you
thought
know
I
you've
include.
dressed for the event.
Sorry.
When people think that's how you know you've dressed for the event, when you match your surroundings so well. People are like, "Oh, you're staff. Can you help me?" And you're like, "I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you help me?"
In fact, I included these photos because it was so funny. I think we got stopped by several travelers, like asking, like, "Can I take a photo with you?" They thought we were like working for the event because like we were like in some like Harry Potter coordinate, like, and then one of them even asked directions, like, "Oh, where's the departure gate?" I'm like, yeah, because this was
kinda have to
this
prove-
was, sorry.
You kind of have to bluff. You're like, "Oh, just keep walking straight. You'll
Oh
find
yeah,
it."
just send them in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing was the sign on the picture on the left, right? That big wall setup. Like the departure gate was just on the left. There was a big sign that says departure.
Yeah.
And then like the police, I mean the security guard were like all in front. But I was just so surprised that this traveler would like actually stop and like asked us like, where's the departure hall? We were like, it was. Oh yeah, this is my friend Jack. Yeah, she said like I remember. Yeah, and the auntie. Oh yes, yeah, we got stopped by the auntie as well. Like she wanted to take photos of us, and she would not stop taking photos. And then at one point, she took photos to the point she was like, do you know how to delete the photos from my phone? I'm like, girl, I don't know how. She's like, my phone ran out of space.
See, that's the thing is like I always wonder what happens with these photos. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing with
Yeah.
them?
Yeah, that's
I
why
think,
a lot of people do not let them take. At least here in my community, people don't let them take pictures of us because we don't know what are they gonna do with those. You know? What are
Yeah.
they-
But yeah, in Singapore, it's a little bit hard to ask them not to take photos because like because a lot of them would like secretly just like pretend that they're on the phone, but they're like taking your photo.
Yeah.
Especially when you're on the train or what, like it's hard to kind of like tell them not to take photos. Yeah, but we try. We definitely try.
My friend chases
Yeah.
them with the phone. She goes behind them like, "Oh, you want to take pictures? Then I'm gonna take pictures of you."
Yeah.
Ray, I need your friend. I need your friend to follow me.
Tell her she will go. She will go to the venue. Don't worry.
She's gonna be like Lolita bouncer, right? Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
stop. Beat you with my
Not with those
parasol.
shoes.
Yes. She is.
I remember I had to stop someone. This is like kind of a story that gets told over and over. We were at an event, and I have a friend who's quite tall, and she was just fixing her socks. But when you're nearly like, she's somewhere between 5'10", 6 foot. It's very hard for me to tell because I'm 5'2", so everyone looks like 6 foot to me. But she was just bending over to pull her socks up, and some woman walks up kind of a few feet behind us with her camera to take a photograph as she's bent over, and I dived in front of my friend's buttocks, and I was like, no, at this lady. I was like, no, this is stranger's underskirt that you're, yeah. There she is. I'm 5'9 3/4. So as I said, 6 foot. Sorry. But yeah, I had to be like, no, don't do that to my friend. And the woman was like, oh, but she's just got so many frills and ruffles. I thought it was cute. And I was there sort of like gesturing at my entire sweet Lolita friend. I was like, she has frills and ruffles kind of other places than up her skirt. And people just kind of get caught up in the image and the sort of unusual ornateness of Lolita. And their brain just sort of goes, oh, I need to get a picture of this. And they don't kind of go, I need to get a picture of this stranger's underskirt. And you're just like, oh dear. I need to explain to her. Like, but yeah, I remember, like, as you were saying, you get asked a lot of the time if you're cosplaying. Cosplay is getting, like, been around for a good while in Ireland. But I remember once I was asked, I was just walking along the street and someone asked me, do you work at a cosplay cafe? And I was like, I was taken aback. I was like, what is a cosplay cafe? And I was like, man, I wish we had stuff like that. Like, we don't even have maid cafes in Ireland or any kind of alternative cafes. We've just got, I don't know, 18 Starbucks and a few struggling independent cafes, which I was like, man, I wish we had something like that. It's not anything I'd be into, but it'd be fun.
Like just now, Sarah, you mentioned like someone would like take your photos without asking. Like, it just reminded me of this one story at Gardens by the way, but not in that coordinate. I think I was wearing dolly cat, so it was like a full suite get up. This one Indian couple. Sorry, no, I'm not being racist here. I'm just mentioning it specifically because like it was an elderly couple. So it was like an Indian man and an Indian lady. So what happened was he just went up to me, pulled his wife, and pulled my shoulder next to his wife, and he was just like, I was so stunned. Like, he just grabbed me by my arm and just put me next to his wife, and he's just like, yeah, next pose. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's just people with holiday brain.
First of all,
was like, I'm sorry, I'm not working here. Like, I'm just visiting. Like, then
also
he
just
was
don't
just like, one more photo.
The only time I make concessions is when the kid is asking for it.
Yeah.
That's just the one time.
Yeah.
If it's a little kid and the kid is asking, but the kid is asking because many times it's the parent that's pulling the kid and go and take a picture. I don't like that, and I don't let them take my picture. But if the kid is asking, if the kid is saying, please, can I take a picture with you? Then I'll say, you know what? Yes, okay, because it's a kid. You don't.
Yeah, I had one kid. Also, but after that horrid incident, I had one more. It was a positive experience. So it was one negative experience, and then the positive experience was this one young kid. Like, she just walked up to me and said, "You look really pretty today. You're like a princess cat. Can I take a photo with you?" And it was like, she made my day. Like, I had like a horrid experience after that, and the moment she said that, I'm like, oh sure, I know. I was like so happy to take a photo with her. I just wish I had a photo myself. She was really cute as well. She was dressed up like a princess herself. And then her mom was like, say, thank you for thank you for taking photos with her. It's her birthday. I was like, oh, so sweet.
It probably like made her happy, like, for her birthday as well.
Yeah, and it was like at the end of the day.
Yeah, we recently had a case about the photo, and someone took a picture of one Lolita, and he posted on their website with the comment like, "Oh wow, hey guys, I saw this one today, and how strange." And she sued that posting, and she won. And
yeah, I guess.
Oh no.
Yeah, the cyberbullying is kind of common in Korea, but not always easy to win. But to win, the accuser need to prove herself I'm the person on the post. But that's the most difficult part. But in that case, the Lolita dress is very identical, so it was easy to prove herself. It's me, and so
I don't-
just
Yeah.
deserved.
I don't think that would work here with the laws that we have in the US. I don't think you could sue someone for posting your photo online unless they're like maybe saying negative things about you, in which case it might be. I don't know anything about the law, but that might be like defamation, and then you could like be like, oh, like I'm a private individual. You're saying negative things about me. But I'm not sure if like anyone would win in a case here if someone like sued.
Yeah, I don't know how it would work over here either. To be honest, I'm not 100% on the legality of even taking strangers' photos. Never mind like posting them somewhere. And I'm just sort of like, yeah, please don't. It's not polite, because I hate when people are like, oh, that's illegal to do. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
rude
it's like
as hell.
that should not be your first instinct. Like, oh, well, technically, no. Like, you're not being
You
polite.
can't send me to prison. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can send you to the boat stool though. Like, go away and think about what you've done, and if it kind of falls under the heading of not something that you'd want done to your best friend, then don't do it to a stranger.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
We're still in question 1.
Oh, I'm so no. Okay, I will go through really quickly for these 2 slides because I mean this one, like what's unique about like my culture, because I'm actually Malaysian, so Malaysia and Singapore have similar cultures, like in both places, like they actually have peranakan, and peranakan is actually like it's from a marriage between Malay and Chinese, and they call them Baba Nyonya. So what I did for this was actually, it was on a whim, because I was invited to my friend's wedding. I wanted to represent like my Malay culture, but at the same time I was also into Lolita. So what I did was I wore my kabaya top with
which is
with
this
innocent world. Yeah, which is it's actually like a jacket thing, and traditionally it's worn with a baju kurung, like the cloth that you tie at the bottom, so you get like that mermaid silhouette. Yeah, but what I did here was I just paired it with a innocent world jumper skirt, and I wore it over like a jacket.
Yeah, the florals go so well together.
The colors,
like on that.
The color theory on this is just chef's kiss.
Yeah, it matches
Oh,
so
thank
so
you.
And here's more pictures.
Yeah, so here's more pictures from like fast forward, because like this is in Singapore. So that one was at my friend's wedding, and this one was in Singapore, where they actually had a Peranakan restaurant. So that setup on the right, the picture that I took there, is actually like it's like a heritage area where they would have all the like all the different kind of furniture, because Peranakan culture is very steeped, like there's a lot of like mixed elements from both Malay and Chinese culture. So like you would see like the women wearing like baju kurung, but at the same time they would also eat like in terms of food, like a lot of them are quite Chinese. So it's like a mixed fusion. Like if you look up Baba Nyonya culture, it's really beautiful. Like I love all the elements that they have. Yeah, and even like, and it's on everything, like literally everything, onto the tiles, like wall tiles, like onto like the furniture, to the way they dress, to what they eat. Yeah, it's a very unique culture. And personally, while I'm not Baba Nyonya myself, but I have relatives who are of Baba Nyonya heritage. Yeah, so again, like it's not cultural appropriation. Actually, I thought really hard about this when I wore this after that, because I was worried like people would say like, oh, you're cultural appropriating, you're not even Baba Nyonya, why are you wearing this? Like then I thought to myself, I'm Malaysian, and in Malaysia it's like a cosmopolitan of like many races, so it's hard to pinpoint exactly like what I am. Like I would probably say I'm a Malaysian Chinese, but then again, I've been exposed to so many different cultures from like, from Indian culture to Malay culture to Mamak culture to Peranakan to, so many. Like I can't exactly tell you like, I'm,
Yeah.
it's not
Because
right
that's the
for
thing
me
about
to.
Malaysia, right? Is like that's kind of what it's known for, is like having all these different cultures in one place.
Yeah. So like Inari mentioned also, it's a celebration. So for me, I think it like for this particular cohort I think I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm also proud to also carry on the cultural heritage, and for anyone who see this, they're like, oh, this is Peranakan culture, and they can get to learn more about it.
Oh, we have questions about how you spell it.
Oh, how do I spell it?
Mhm.
Peranakan. How do I type? Let me type.
I'm not sure.
Peranakan.
I'm not sure if you can type into the comments.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll copy and paste that into the chat.
Oh.
So the public chat. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
so
so let's move on to indie brands. So in everyone's so in different countries, there's a lot of different indie brands and artists that are also like J fashion creators, and wanted to take some time to talk about what creators are in different countries. So, first we have a bunch of pictures from Iris.
Yeah. So yeah, we have well-known Leaf and Baroque, and it's closed now, but we have Henry too. And also there are many small shops such as Dope and Dear Margaret and Curl Arcadia and Maryville. So this is the Baroque picture, and so they pursue little antique and little classy and style as you see. So the vertical one is kind of recent release, and the horizontal one is kind of old series, but it's collaborate with Sakizo. So yeah. And next page.
And also something to know about specifically about you, Iris, is that you are a representative for a lot of these brands in the US, correct?
Yeah.
So it's like part of your job to like promote and like bring those over.
Yeah. I'm Baroque's English CS manager. So yeah, you can contact me if you need anything from Korea. Yeah, not only Baroque, I'm gonna help you all to get Korean stuffs. Just let me know if you need any help. And they
because
do
that Cruel Arcadia Instagram is just so beautiful.
Yeah,
so badly want something from Cruel Arcadia.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad you guys know about the Cruel Arcadia. So this is also Baroque's picture, and they do collaborate a lot. And the first two picture is kind of famous tablier from collaborate with Moitié. So it was very famous and popular. And how do I say, the bottom picture is also collaborate with other artists, illustration artists, and one is Sakizo, and those two are with Kiyor. And yeah, the red dress is also collaborate with Sakizo. Yeah.
I think they showcased some pieces at an event I was at, and I actually got to model for them, and it was amazing. Their pieces were beautiful. Like, when you see a dress online and you're like, that's gorgeous, and then you see it in real life and you're like, I don't need all my organs. That's fine.
So the next one is lief. Lief means lovely in Dutch. So many people may wonder why Korean Lolita brand has Dutch name and
Why do Korean brands have Dutch names and Japanese brands have French names?
Yeah. So the owner Sora, her favorite uncle lives in Dutch, so she decided on her brand name as a Dutch. So they make a cute and lovely dress, like as you see. So most of the one thing is good point of their dress is their dress. Most of their dress is machine washable, so it's good. Good and comfortable. Can you go to the next page?
Oh,
So
yes.
so this is the kind of one trend in Korea right now, and it's hanbok Lolita. There has been always been an attempt to make a hanbok Lolita, but it's releasing since like last year. So hanbok's the fluffy shape is already similar to Lolita, so it's kind of good to mix together. So yeah, sometimes as we talked about, sometimes non-Korean, especially Western people, worried about wearing hanbok Lolita could be cultural appropriation, but please do not worry. We do love to see you. Yeah.
We love to see it.
Yeah, please wear that. We love. So these are from the Baroque and next page. And these are from the leaf. These are also the hanbok Lolita.
Oh,
So the left side
the
core is
newborn
hanbok
one.
sailor. So it has sailor color with the hanbok ribbon.
Wow.
Oh, and here we have some Dear Margaret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Dear Margaret. They do collaborate a lot. The first dress is collaborate with Liv in recently, and the right side one is the collaborate with Baroque. Next page. And this is Maribel, and their dress is so lovely and with a good price. That's the
Love
important part. Next page. And this is the career Acadia.
The Goths all like die for this.
Yeah,
I can feel my soul leaving my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Do you ever
recently
see an Instagram and
released.
you're like, you're just teasing me? Like everything there is something I want. I'm not made of money.
Very try not to empty my wallet.
Yeah. It's like you kind of have to come to terms with the fact that we do actually need to eat food, pay rent. And it's not fair.
So I wanted their coat so badly, but California is kind of hot and no chance to wear this coat.
I keep wanting to buy like outerwear in general. I have to stop myself.
Yeah. So the next page. So this brand called Dok, and that means poison in Chinese character, and they make the dark mood accessories like the I love or Korean indie brands. Yeah, they have the good quality and they always try to add the small details like pocket and machine washable fabric and comfy cut and to like improve quality. So I love Korean brands.
Dok as in like doku in Japanese, right? Like poison.
Yeah.
Doku him, yeah, doku.
Yeah, but we have our own pronunciation in how to read the Chinese character. So in Korean way, it sounds like dok. Yeah, similar with doku. Yeah.
So
Maybe
it's the same in Korean, is it?
Yeah, same character.
Wow.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, because like all the countries are kind of like grouped together. A lot of times you get like similar pronunciations and characters and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here we have brands from NRI.
Yeah, this is Mexican brand, Barano Yummy. I put it there because it's one that I use the most. Girl, the dresses are cheap, and I love cheap dresses. So I'm gonna say this is the difference with the things that are made in Mexico. They're so homemade, you know. It's
Mm,
every single dress is a one dress done one time by one person. So it's more a designer thing, you know. They're no serialized. You will never see another one like that one because it won't exist. So yeah, this is one that I use a lot, but it's unfortunately with Mexican brands, the problem is that they come and go a lot. Like they
mm,
Mhm.
they're here for 1 or 2 years and then something happens. Usually it's just a one woman work behind it, and then life
mm,
happens, you know, and you have things and you get married, you have children, you have a lot of things on your life, and then they stop doing things. So this is one
mm,
that I use a lot. They're very cheap. They have some cool designs, but the problem is that right now it's on hiatus. So right now maybe you won't have a response from the designer, but
mm,
when it's around again, maybe you can have one of these dresses, you know. Right,
Oh,
next will be, this is Cats and Bunny. She came back recently. She was out
oh
for like
yay!
2 years or so, or three
yeah,
maybe, and she just came back with this dress. I actually bought that dress. I haven't wear it yet. The red one, I loved it.
Mhm. Little
They
It's
apron.
so
what I
cute.
like a lot is like because because it's handmade. Everything is made
mm,
by them. You know, like they do the embroidery, they do everything, you know, by hand. So it's such a craftsmanship thing. So yeah,
yeah, it's
that's
very
Cat and
personal.
Bunny. And it's now it's working again. So if you want to buy something, this is the time.
Mm,
The next
Temper
one
selling,
is,
temper selling.
oh, this is Pinko Tomidori. I love Pinko Tomidori. So Pinko Tomidori, it's a woman that lives in Mexico City. Well, not in Mexico City. I think she lives in the state of Mexico. That's the name of
Mhm.
the yeah. So
mm,
she is so good. Like you can tell her to do anything you want. If you have a design in your mind, she will make it
mm,
true. You know, if there's anything that you want to come to life, ask her to do it and she will make it for you. So
mm,
again,
Wow.
she doesn't do things and then sell them. It's more like your design and whatever you request, and one by one. Yes, yes, that's true.
wow.
Rocky on the Road. Yes, most of the Mexican brands, they do the custom sizing. So it's very important for us because we're on the heavier side of, you know, of the weight. So we do look for comfort, and
Mm,
I do like
yeah,
that Mexican brands tend to think about those things
Mhm.
and try to make room for everyone. So yeah, the actually the dress that I showed you before that my friend was wearing, I told you the one with the fabric that is so typical of here from Mexico, the
Yeah.
cambaya. Yeah, yeah.
mhm,
This is the designer that made that dress, so that's Pinko Tomidori.
Yeah, and the construction looks
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
mm.
She's so good. She's wonderful. Okay, next.
does she ship overseas like internationally?
I think they do. I mean, you need to talk to them and please be kind to them. Sometimes they take a long time to respond because, like I said, there is just one woman with kids
Oh,
and babies and things behind her, and maybe they will
Mm,
take 2 3 days to answer you, but they will. And if they can send it to you, they will. And if you need help
mm,
and I can make translation for you, I will help you. So just
yeah,
contact
I'll
me.
be like DMing you in a real.
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll
Be
help
my
you. I'll help
middle
you.
lady.
Of course, I'll help anyone. You know. No, they aren't paying me, honey. I'm not. I'm not getting anything at all for this. They're my friends, and I love them, and I want them
We
to.
love supporting our friends.
Yes,
Yay.
yes, I love supporting people. You know, and people seeing their beautiful stuff. This is Unaco Creaciones, and she does mainly accessories.
Mhm.
Um, she does sometimes. It's actually two girls. I think they're sisters. I don't know them. I have never met them, so I don't know them. But the accessories that they make are really cute, and they also create whatever you want. So
Mhm.
that's why I put them here as well.
I'm dying over these barriers.
Yes.
This is so
Yeah,
cute.
that's so
That's
cute.
so
The
cute.
Very
cookie,
Ursa
the
Major
cookie berry.
appropriate.
I like the
Yeah.
biscuit hat, like
Biscuit.
Yes, they
the
have also
Yeah.
biscuit bird.
bags. They have bags. I didn't put them on the pictures. I didn't found them, but they have bags
They
that are
have
really good. They're
bags.
sturdy, and they have the hard bag, the big hard bag, and kind of
Mm.
ita bag. You know where you
Oh
can
yeah,
put
yeah.
it. Yeah, they have those too, and you can ask them to make them for you. So
Oh,
they're
I
really cute.
forgot to mention Evil Life.
Oh yeah, yeah. You are a representative.
You
You're
are?
right. You're being paid, Iris.
How can I forget?
Oh, you
Everyone-
forgot your own brand!
Everyone go look up Evil Life. Also, Iris is a brand too.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have
Iris is a
our
brand.
Your earrings
Iris
are
came
gorgeous.
up. She
Oh my
mentioned the
gosh.
heart bag. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
I was
and I
gonna
think that's.
say that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. No worries, no worries.
Oh, I think that's it. And I missed to mention Wawaism. I'm sorry, Wawa, but I did mention you when you were showing your beautiful dress.
Mm.
So that's another brand that is also, like I said, I just try to mention the ones that I know that are actually working right now, because
Mhm.
otherwise it will be just a disappointment that you cannot guess for anything. So yeah, Mexican brands, yay, one of a kind.
And now we
Yay.
have some brands from Jen.
Okay, so time to whoop whoop some of my favorite indie artists. I learned today that I cannot say the word SIMP because it's on Twitch. I did
Oh
not
my
know
gosh.
that. So
Yeah.
I only knew that today. So lucky I changed my script to whoop whoop. So okay, so first stop is okay, so these are like from two of my good friends. So I will just introduce them one by one. They are from Malaysia. So this one is by Florence. She goes by Florence Momo, and she's an illustrator who's based in Japan and Malaysia. So she actually makes like she has been illustrating for like about 7 years now. And in recent years, she's just been creating all this really cute Lolita adjacent illustration and merchandise. So her art is, I would say, is very Kira in my eyes because I know she's watching it right now. She's just not commenting. She's watching
Kira
this panel.
Imai's watching us
and-
right now. Oh my god.
No. My friend. No. As in my friend who is very influenced by
good.
Kira Imai's artwork. Yeah, I was just saying that she's probably watching this right
I
now.
definitely see the
Yeah.
influence. Yeah.
Your artwork is
Yeah.
gorgeous. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, but she's like working on her original art, and she has like yeah now she's like like including most of like her illustrations with like cute puppies and like the salty dog brand. Like she's having like a yeah she's still in the creation of it, but it's so pretty. I just needed to pin this quick. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this one with
Yeah,
the
and-
bat though.
Yeah, it's so cute. And she likes like mostly food themed stuff. So like if you can see her merchandise on the next slide.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are like some of her the wearables, I would say. Like these are like the accessories she's created over the years. And I really, really like the cookie ones. They're like so cute. Like you can just pin them on like berets, on collar pins. Yeah.
That nutjub
Yeah,
cracker pin is so cute.
It's so cute. Right?
Does it say oh no? Oh no.
Yeah, it just says oh no, right?
So funny.
Because you can't actually write like the brand name OREO. So like she changed
Yeah.
it to like oh no.
I like that better. Oh
That's
no.
when you've swallowed an
Oh, no.
entire half sleeve of them without thinking, oh no.
and it's eaten, so it's like oh no.
Oh no.
I've sinned.
That's so perfect.
So cute.
Yeah.
Okay, and here we have
Yeah. Okay. So we have the next one is Whaley. She's also a Malaysian artist, and she goes by the moniker Whaley Wonka. So she's also an illustrator who's based in England and Malaysia, where she uses mostly like narratives to as like a key element in her works. So each piece that she draws is mainly like telling a story of their own. and she also has a background in character design and development, and comics and children book illustrations. So she kind of like works in many different mediums to suit like what she's trying to tell the story. So these are like some of her merchandise. Like she makes just so cute collar pins. Like I don't. It's a little bit small, but you can see like the ghost, the little ghost with the one in the coffin. The ghost
yeah,
is just
these
like
guys.
sleeping in the coffin.
Oh,
It's so cute.
Sorry, I had
Yeah,
to
so
go
these
right
are
up.
like
'Cause- wow.
yeah.
I want all of these pins.
Right. I want them to. Sadly, like right now, yeah, you can give them a follow on their Instagram and Twitter, which is all the
Here.
links here. Yeah. But the thing is that because right now in Malaysia, unfortunately, all shipping has been suspended. So they've unfortunately have to like close their shop. But if you would like to have them shipped over, maybe I can help. Cause like I can like Singapore, I'm still able to help them ship out. So yeah, so a little bit of pimping, like
Is it because of COVID?
help. Yeah, it is because of COVID. Like they just completely suspended all postal service, and if you want them, I think there's only DHL available, which is not. I would say it's kind of like expensive, especially if you're like, just ordering like 1 or 2 pins.
Oh yeah, everyone do a big group order.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone do a big group order. Yeah, please do follow them because each of them have their own shops. So yeah, maybe keep up when things open back up again, or if you would like, you can always like DM them, and we can arrange something to help like to ship to you all. Yeah. So okay. So now I'm moving to Singapore. So this is by Sarah Thursday, and she's an independent illustrator. So she mostly makes like alternative J fashion merchandise, such as like sling bags, keychain pins, keychains. Sorry, not keychain pins. Keychains. But mainly T-shirts. So lately she's been she mostly does like Patreon. So you can like kind of like support her on Patreon, where you get like sneak peeks at her upcoming T-shirt designs, and she's also having like designs that come back because she's been like illustrating for many years now also. So like there are designs that are popular backed by demand, and then she will include them in the Patreon. So like if you really want her works, you should totally subscribe to her Patreon. Yeah. And I would say like I'm kind of a big like I really love her shirts. I kind of practically live in them during this pandemic.
Yeah, I can
Especially, like,
I
the
can see
Nana
the
shirt.
appeal because you can like put something on that's so cute and like comfortable.
Yeah, and it matches. I mean, it's black, so
Yeah.
you can actually wear them. Like I made one coordinate on the right. I just paired it like I did like an OG like mix with like I matched it with some OG pants, and it's good to go.
Yeah, super cute.
Comfortable without being plain.
Yeah, so I like to show a little bit more about what she does because she's been an absolutely big inspiration for me because I really admire her vision because she has a really strong will to like carry things through when things are tough. So being an independent artist in Singapore is actually really tough because you kind of have like the prejudices of like, oh, you should become a doctor, all those like you should have like high paying jobs. So being an artist in Singapore and Malaysia is kind of like, we kind of get looked down upon. So but she kind of like went on to just start a career in art because she kind of, how it started was she kind of got a bad grade in her final year project, and she was kind of very unhappy about it, and that's why she wanted to prove her lecturer wrong, that she can she can live as an artist full time. So
Oh
there's
God,
not
yeah.
many like
Fueled
her.
by spite, I
I
support
love
that.
that.
Yeah.
All I got was sad.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
oh,
got an F in my art.
yeah. I was like,
Repeat a full year.
Oh God.
Yeah.
it's really
So
inspiring.
yeah. So I wanted to also
Yeah,
showcase
definitely.
like these art shows that she held, because that's the first. The Vanita's art show was the first art show I met her, and that was just her and a few friends, where she wanted to just have like a gallery to showcase all her friends' work and her work herself at the same time, like promoting her merchandises. And then where the catharsis one was very impactful for me personally, because it helped, because that was a mental health art exhibition. So she kind of combined like promoting mental health and an art exhibition at the same time, where she got like artists to like draw on their I would say like what they've been going through mentally, like
Yeah.
addressing tough topics like depression, suicide, all those things. And then the second picture is where one of the panels where they were speaking on that, like, so that they will also have like some of the participating artists who and the mental health board association to give a panel at the same time. Yeah, so that one was really impactful for me. I know yeah. And then Thursday and Friends is where more friends joined on board. For I think that was wait, was it this year? Oh no, I'm lost track of
Oh,
time.
well, I mean, everyone's wearing masks, so sometime during the pandemic.
Yeah, it's definitely during the pandemic. Oh my gosh, what is time anymore? Yeah,
Oh, it's
so
only pretend. No, don't worry.
Time is an
I know it's
illusion,
2020 never
girl.
existed. Yeah, so that one, she actually like invited me as an helper. So I actually wore the coordinate I made, like I wore it to help out. I was like the person at the door scanning like the temperature, taking the temperature, making sure they
Oh.
scan the QR code to log in, because we have like an app called Trace Together, where it's linked to like the government system, so like everyone will know whether like you've checked into the place and whether you checked out. Like it's a big social,
Korea does
like,
that too. We do that too.
right. Yeah, Iris would know, because this is like and
Wow.
You guys are so advanced. We have nothing. No one knows
Yeah.
I feel like, I feel like in the US we just don't have that because no one cares about being safe. But whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like
then
there's so
again,
many
like,
people that are just like, no.
yeah, because like wearing masks is kind of like normal. I mean, okay, before the pandemic in Singapore, it was not really normal, but after like where we are now, like I think a lot of people have embraced the use of wearing masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very comfortable. I think everyone will be wearing them a few years' time.
Yeah.
I actually was really surprised because I thought that people will be more lenient on that here in Mexico. Like we don't care about nothing, dude. Like people don't care.
Oh
And
no.
I'm actually surprised a lot of people wear masks, like a lot. And
Wow.
I was shocked because I thought that they would be like, what are those things, And no, people are very compliant, like more than I thought. Not everyone, of course, but more
Yeah.
than what I thought.
Okay. So we have a little bit of time to go over like the different meets and events that might happen in your country. So here we have some pictures from Sarah.
That's me. Yeah. So as you see there on the left, we have some of our smaller meets. The first one next to the green panel. It's the first time we ever tried to have like a big, come on guys, let's get it together and do something that you have to book kind of meetup. So we got an entire like a big sort of banquet table in. It's just a big afternoon tea, but it was the biggest that we'd done at the time. I think that was 2015, and it was our biggest meetup and it went very well. So we were like, maybe we'll try do a bigger one. So the next year we booked out, I think, the turret in Clontarf Castle for the Banquet of Clontarf. This was after we had been over to London for a Dream Masquerade Carnival. So we were like, we can do this. we did a smaller scale when we had like one day, and it was really lovely because some of the people from England who we had met over there came over to support us. So we're like, great, this is fantastic. We get to see all our friends again. We had prizes, and it was just nice to have a private venue. And then that gave us the notions that we went and then built our big event on. That's the slide that you see on the left. It's Myths of Our Own from 2018. It was our first real, like, internationally advertised event. It was only one day, but it ran from 11 in the morning to about 11 at night. We had Henuli over as our special guest, and we had two venues booked. So we had Smock Alley Theatre for the food and raffle part, and then we had you can see the venue there. It had beautiful big windows. It's very picturesque. And then in the evening for our fashion show and dealers hall, we went to a lovely sort of suite in sort of one of the hotels in the fancier part of town. And I spent most of the day in a complete fugue. It was like I blacked out from about 11:30 in the morning and woke up again at like 10:30 at night. And I was like, oh, I have to steam 30 dresses. Okay, that's fine. But it was amazing. It was just so much fun. My friend Josephine, who's pictured there, holding the Hinuli envelope with the microphone, she organised the whole thing. I was just like her assistant. But we got such a good response from our whole community. Yeah, her. We got such a huge and like overwhelmingly positive response from everyone who attended. We had at least 3 or 4 communities from England come over. We had people from Scotland. I think we had someone from Germany. We had a few people from around. As I said, I more or less spent it all in a daze. But it was lovely. We had Nunu and her assistant Dee Dee over. We had vendors. We had like what's the name of it? Well, obviously we had Hinuli, we had Eat Me Ink Me, we had I'm blacking out on the name of it. We had some really, like, I was very impressed with the amount of brands that actually came to us and was like, yeah, we'd like to sell with you. And considering that we're such a small and isolated island, it just felt like a fantastic show of support
she
from the
mentioned this
community on
event.
island. Pardon?
Yeah, Henry mentioned me this event. It was
Did
one
she?
of her amazing events.
Oh, she was so much fun. Like I was kind of like, oh my god, I'm nervous to meet Hinuli, But when she came over, she was just Violet Thane, Peacock Alorum, and some others. Josephine, you're probably going to remember this before me. There was a brand, and they had, I think it was the Marriage of Salome, a circus dress, and a blue and black jacquard dress. They're sold on Wonderwell's floor. I can't remember the name. Can you?
No.
Phone in a friend.
Yeah, I'm going to ask the audience on this one because that, I swear to God, I didn't buy one of the dresses there because actually I bought the dress that I'm wearing here at Myths of Our Own. It was a Hinuli dress, and I could only afford one of the two, so I chose this one and the black one. Let's see, oh yeah, she's so sweet. Hinuli is super fun.
Oh,
like we went for dinner with her. Anastasia. God bless you, Josephine. Yeah, Anastasia was one of the vendors. And I just met so many international, like French, German, amazing community members that I still like follow on Instagram and kind of have like this. I don't know. I'm one of these people who's kind of awkward personally. I'm very quiet, I think, online, but I have this habit of like seeing people post on their Instagrams and I'm like, hello, friend. You're my friend. I'm friendly towards you and I love you. And I won't say that to them. I'll just give them a like. But I'm like, I adore you all so much. And I'll never tell anyone. But that whole event, it was really, really fun. And the only thing that I regret about Myths of Our Own was that we didn't break it up over 2 days. Because normally what you do is you have like day 1, after party, day 2, after party, whereas we had our 2 events mushed into one day. So we were like competing with the Pope. I'm not kidding. The day that we were hosting Myth of Our Own, the Pope was over.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Yeah, the Pope was.
I would rather go to the Lolita event.
Yeah, it was us versus the Pope, and frankly, I feel like we won.
Better dressed.
Fancier. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you see what we. Thank you. Yes, I think so. But yeah, we had our after party the next day, and I was kind of like gearing myself back up, and I was like, great, I wound up scalding myself on the day before the after party, so I couldn't actually attend it. And I heard great things about it. Yeah, I know. I dropped an entire mug of tea in my own lap, but it was apparently great fun. Mm. Yeah, and I wasn't even wearing Lolita at the time, which would have protected me, which is the ironic thing. And yeah, so yeah, the final photograph that we have, it's on the right hand side at the bottom next to the pink panel, is our 10-year anniversary for the community. So IREGL is, I believe, turning 12 years old this year. That was our 10th anniversary before the pandemic hit, and it was fantastic. It was like almost the whole community came together. We just had lunch, and we also had, like, as a guest, we had the director of an Irish documentary, a mini documentary that aired actually on our national broadcaster's online streaming service. We had her there, and it was just lovely to actually incorporate her in an event, because IREGL got to make a little documentary called Living Lolita with RTE, and I believe it's still available to stream online. That's it there.
So I did include a link here on the slide. Obviously, no one who is in the chat can click on it, but I will make this available for people to see so they can like go watch it.
You were in this documentary. I watched it.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Oh my god.
Big heart to
it was an
you.
amazing.
I love this documentary. It's like probably the best Lolita documentary I've seen.
It's so aesthetic.
No, you're just saying that because I'm sitting here with you.
No, I swear to God.
It was just an amazing experience to have. This all started when we went for an afternoon tea in a hotel, and somebody who works for the RTE broadcaster approached our moderator Josephine, and was like, "What's going on? Are you in a play? Are you going somewhere?" So they started having this conversation, and she got on to us and was like, "I'm interested in making a small documentary." So I think it took 4 days to film. It wound up being 15 minutes long. They came to some of our houses, and then the scene you see here is actually in I believe a 17th century Georgian building in town that it was originally a home to aristocracy. Then in later years it fell to being tenement buildings, and now it's being restored. So it's kind of a combination of slum and aristocracy housing. It just got such a fantastic sort of decrepit but also really like luxurious surrounding, and I thought it was a fantastic kind of mix of aesthetics that really fit with Lolita. They what they did was, when they were interviewing us, they had a little bit of sort of like director-led questioning, but for the most part we were just allowed to speak. So they didn't ask us leading questions, they didn't sort of feed us lines or anything like that. So pretty much everything that is said in it is our own words and our own thoughts on Lolita. And the fact that like mainstream media and a national broadcaster reached out to us and allowed us to take the reins in our own project so clearly and like so fairly. It was just, I felt really proud to be part of it. And like one of the things that I wish I had elaborated on in the trailer for this mini documentary, I kind of say, when I'm talking about people asking whether we're going to an event or if we're in a play, kind of one of the main things that I love about Lolita is kind of, it's just a celebration of your own free will, your ability to dress yourself for yourself in whatever you want. And I never really specified that was it. I was just sort of like, look, if this is what I want to wear, it's within my means as an adult to do it for myself. So it made me sound like I don't have very many ambitions other than this. But like one of the main things that, yeah, I mean, it's one of my main ambitions to continue enjoying like freedom of expression through my own appearance.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
I know
But
a lot of people also related a lot to what you said about like a bear, like wearing a bear.
I am a bear in a bear suit, am I not? Like, yeah, because that was like I love that story of Usakumiya, where it's a bear that wants to be a bunny, which is great. But then when they brought out the bear that's just like a bear, but it's got a barrier hood on, I was like, oh my God, that speaks to me on a level that I never fully understood was within me. And I was just like, look, if there's something harmless and kind of expressive that you want to do, no matter how strange looking it is, I just really wanted people to know that that's something that everyone should do. And by doing that, like when we get dressed in the clothes that we love, kind of, you're not telling people this is what you should do, but you're saying if there's a part of you that wants to do this for yourself, maybe it's to wear Lolita, maybe it's to wear a different style, maybe it's to express yourself completely differently. There should be a sort of atmosphere of support from people who want to do things like this to people who want to do things similar for themselves. I'm getting into a very abstract kind of rambly manifesto here, but yeah, I just love that sort of yes, deeply it's the most my God, it's the I'm trying to make a joke here. It's like it's way deeper than you would think when you're trying to mush your credit card into it and it's not fitting. But I was just like, yeah, I love that sort of sense of community that even like if you're walking around in Lolita and you see a goth or a punk on the street, there's sort of like this nod of acceptance towards each other. And I'm
Yeah.
like I hate the idea that there are people out there that want to express themselves through clothes that feel afraid to. And so even when I feel anxious about going out dressed like this, I kind of make myself because of like, no, remember the days you saw people dressed differently and it inspired you? Imagine they had felt too insecure and they went out wearing a hoodie instead. It just sent my life in a completely different direction.
Something that I think has maybe happened, especially during pandemic, is I've noticed that like a lot of Lolitas or a lot of people started trying Lolita or like different J fashions while they were in quarantine. And I think it's a matter of like maybe people really wished that they had done it earlier, or it's something that they always wanted to do and never had the courage to try. And I just, I don't know, I really am happy that people are finally getting to wear what they wanted to wear all along.
Yeah.
Totally
And it kind of
agree.
speaks
Yep.
to like the sense of security you feel when you dress up within your own environment. Like if you don't wear Lolita outside your room, at least you're still wearing it. And I just that really kind of highlights to me the need for a supportive community because like you can't always stay in your own home wearing J fashion. If you want to wear it out, you kind of need to feel supported by your friends. And I'm very lucky that my community really does make me feel supported. You can kind of see in the photograph there that we kind of run the gamut of all the different styles. We've got old school, we've got sweet, we've got like classic, gothic. We've got people that don't really fit into any one category. But like you see all this bickering online, and it's like, oh, sweet is the worst. Oh no, gothic, that's just trendy now. And no, we're kind of all the one. Like we really don't look the same to each other, but on like to an outsider, we're all very much the one
We're all just
community.
weirdos in weird dresses.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And like
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna
oh
say
no,
that
I was just
the sense of community is so important, and you got to understand that we as human beings, it is in our nature to try to belong somewhere.
Yep.
So when you're
Preach.
accepted,
Preach.
when you're accepted in the group,
yeah,
and you feel the
the
understanding,
fan.
and you see the bonding, it's so important, it's so
Yeah.
major for people, you finally understand where you belong, and why are you here on earth, you know what I mean, it's part of it becomes part of your sense as a human being. So
Yeah. It's a hugely important connection, I think, in all of our lives that we have each other to support each other like this.
yeah.
And I know it's kind of like again, it's a deeply philosophical plushy bag kind of topic, but it's just through connecting through this weird, almost shallow on the surface, kind of shallow hobby. It's just fashion, but it really does run deeper than that. And I'm so grateful for all of you. Oh, I'm gonna start crying now. I'm gonna.
Oh, don't cry, don't cry. You're gonna make me cry.
Yeah.
Oh
No, no,
I
Lolita,
totally
it's
feel the
it's
same. Like,
so much
yeah.
more than clothes, girl. It's so much.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I mean, like, if I wasn't wearing Lolita, like, I mean, previously, although I was like cosplaying a lot, but and it's the same for Lolita as well. Like, if I never wore Lolita, like, I would have met so many of my international friends to this day. You know, like, even though we
Yeah.
have lived like oceans apart, like, there's still something that connects us to this. You know, like. And there's something that we can always look forward to, and at the same time, it feels, you know, wearing Lolita actually, like, you know, you make
Yeah.
you feel good about yourself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
It's
It's
like an
not.
armor. To me,
Yes.
it's like an
Yes.
Yeah.
armor. And you know what? I don't know
Lolita
about
is an
you.
armor
I
with
don't know about
frills
you.
on my heart.
Yes, but I've noticed that a lot of women who get into the fashion, they've had so many struggles in their life. You know, they've lived so hard experiences in their life, and Lolita is the armor that we use to protect ourselves and defend ourselves and feel pretty and
Mm-hmm.
feel empowered,
Yep.
and to feel bigger than what we are and try to be bigger than our problems. You know what I mean? Like to
Yep.
to
Yeah.
take to really take our space. That's what the petticoat means to me. It makes me have the space that I need and the
Yeah.
space that
It's
I
a
deserve
social
in the world.
distancing skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay away.
We invented that social distancing skirt.
We
It
made it
was.
cool.
We started it first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
For
that's my
me,
friend.
yeah.
Oh, boy, me. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, on the chat
Yeah.
is like, oh,
you girl.
everyone's having the same experience.
Yeah.
So just a heads up to everyone, we are 5 minutes away from the next panel. I'm going to just let this run until 9 o'clock, and then we're going to have to turn it off because there's another panel coming up. But feel
Oh
free to
no.
talk for another 5 minutes. I'm sorry about the slides that we didn't get to.
Oh, yeah. It's okay.
Okay, maybe I'll just like go really quickly. Like,
Oh, we've got. Hold on. Let me
Oh,
just. Oh, okay. So we have Iris, which I guess we can. I guess Iris. Here's some.
okay, so here is three good things being a Korean leaders. And I think the number one is Korea is small country, so it's easy to attend the event. So longest driveway is like 6-ish hours. So yeah, it's easy to attend the event. And second, we're close to Japan geographically, so it's easy to
oh, you guys have
go
mama
to
sama.
Japan to buy their lucky bags, and it's easy to. Its flight ticket is cheap, like 100 to 300 US dollars, and it's only
Wow.
2 hours. Yeah, it takes only 2 hours, so it's good to visit. So we're uh, having like
Not a nose
when we have an event and the famous model can be a special guest very easily, and yeah, so this is one good reason.
Wow.
And the last one is we have a good friend like holding all these events. Yeah, so I think it's
Yeah.
those three are good things for being a Korean Lolita. So this is the moment that I never regret to move to the United States, but this is the moment I regret I was not in Korea
Oh.
with
Oh.
the collaboration party with Moadie and Manasama. So why I'm in here? Why I'm not in Korea? Yeah.
Oh, and we have some pics from. Oh, just I'm so sorry, Inara. I forgot to go into your folder and like take the pictures and put them in this slide. So I will put them after, and I'll share them with everyone. So I guess we only have really time for Jen.
Oh no, okay, I'll go really quickly because like that's quite a bit to go from here. I realized like I added quite a lot of photos. So this is like my very, very first here the thing is like back in 2012, I somehow got a paid gig through one of my cosplay contacts. So this is like an event for Schwarzkopf, like the hair brand, hair dye brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they wanted to have like a Lolita tea party. I was very surprised they actually knew what Lolita was back then, and they were like, I don't. But the thing was, they wanted to have like a celebration, and they specifically asked me they wanted to have like a Lolita tea party. So I didn't give any suggestion. They just asked me to, find people. So I got all my friends to join in, and to my surprise, they actually made the setup really cute. Like everything
I
was
want to be
like
paid
it's like
to have a tea party.
Yeah, so they had like a whole setup, like it's like the sweet Lolita's dreamland. Okay, like there were like cupcakes, tea, all the biscuits and everything. Like so, those were like with their brand on it, and there's edible stuff. Yeah, so we had a lot of fun. That was in 2012. Yeah, so the next slide. So this is after I've moved to Singapore, and it was only then I found out there was like a Singapore a Singapore community, and this is also when I started wearing more actively in 2015. But this is one of the parties organized by Black Alice. Black Alice used to be like a shop that sold like that brought in like dresses from Baby, Starshine Bright, and Alice and the Pirates. They would like sell it at a small physical shop, but unfortunately it closed down. So since then, yeah, it's very sad. We don't really have any Lolita shops here. Oh, my friend XY is here, Dark X Delirium. She's in the photo with me. I really love this one because it's like perfect, like vampire coordinate. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Yeah, so they Black Alice has been organizing this Halloween tea party. So like they only organize it on like October, the month of October, and that's why all of us would be like, yeah, bring out all the gothic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we are out of time, and we do need to let the next panel start. So I'm going to share this PowerPoint presentation through the Discord and through the Facebook event group, so all the panelists or all the attendees can still see all the slides that you guys worked on. Thank you all for being here and staying the extra time. And thank you for the panelists for presenting on, everything that you've experienced.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank you for
Thank
organizing.
you. Thank you for hosting.
It's
Thank
been
you
an
for
honor.
bringing all of us in here.
It's been a real honor.
If you guys have, if anyone in the chat has questions for the panelists, specifically about like the brands or about like their community, please reach out to the panelists themselves. The Instagram link should be in the website panel description. And so yeah, we have to let the next panel start. But thank you all so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
you. Bye.
Thank you.